So it's the second part of our Game of the Year show, and this one we're trying to do something a little bit special because we went from a box to a crunch bag, and then last year I really tried to just woof things up a bit, or vump things up a bit, by travelling to Switzerland and snapping a bit off the Hedron Super Collider for our Game of the Year Woof Tube.
I remember that. That was good.
And who are you?
My name is Paddy. I'm one half of the podcast. Who are you?
That doesn't matter. Let me tell you what we're going to do today.
Okay.
We are going to have a good time. We've recorded some songs for this one. You have recorded, I think, from what you told me, you have recorded covers. How is your voice?
I have. I've recorded covers. My voice was not okay. Turns out, can't sing as good as I thought, so results will vary.
Okay. Whereas I, faithful listeners, am your favourite Coffee Jesus, and I have pulled some strings, having been in the music world before I was in the podcast world. I have a host of stars who've recorded original songs for you. We're not talking throwaway stars. We are talking grade A. We're talking triple A if we're talking in the game world. Recording artists. We have Frabonk Zebra Toast.
Whoa.
Gimba Dawn.
How?
Ron Wooverly.
No.
Fanta Boy.
Ah?
Veronica Marjonica.
I know her.
Gumbo Romeses.
Okay.
And Darcy McBelmont.
How did you get her?
Them. All I did. Well, you know, I used to. I'm not saying I used to be something, but my room is surrounded by many leather-bound books and furniture made of rich mahogany. So welcome to 7 Soldiers of Toast Magical Superhero Popstar Battle Sugoi Yatta. So I normally go first on these, but I am going to let you go first this time, Patrick. What is your number 7? Because I say 7. Why have we done 7? We are dipping our 7 Soldiers of Toast into the boiled egg of pop. Also games. Sugoi Yatta. So what is your number 7 game of 2018?
If, Maestro, will you please start the music? Yeah, boy! Axe! How far can you throw? Oh, whoa! I'm a father, yo, once again, back is the irritable, the Spartanimal, the unkillable, Ghost! Enemy number 1, Baldur said freeze! And I punched him, can I tell him that I really never had a son? Atreus shot an arrow, then I shot another one. Me and boy are going well, cause my lessons are swell, cause a father like me said, well, head in the direction of the deer and shoot him in the rear. Don't show me any fear, I'll get right out of here, father, now. Time for a lighter touch. Tell the story, Dad! Go! Oh, I'm sad! Kratos back, Biggs, action, getting whacked in the back. Yeah, yo, come on! Call it back again, turn it up! Daddy boy! Turn it up! Daddy boy!
That was fantastic.
Thank you. That is the best one that I've done.
I was going to say, you sold yourself short, because you see, I've started at the opposite end of the spectrum, where it's like, okay, that one's all right. And then
in terms of quality, that is the one I am absolutely probably the most proud of, barring one other one.
It's fantastic. So, just to let people know, we are playing them down the mic to one another on phones, but we are going to edit them in to the show.
I'm going to edit them in beautifully. I've made a decision to not talk so I could edit in even better on my end.
So tell us about your game of choice and why and how and all of the things.
I will. So my number 7, if you could pick up from the song, the clever song, Dad of Boy, God of War. The fresh of the franchise that came out in this year of our Lord 2018.
Too much praise.
Too much praise. Well, here's the thing.
No,
right?
Not too much praise. That would be my opinion. But too much praise.
Too much praise. Yes. Oh,
no,
too
not
much
too
praise.
much praise, because people were quite happy that it received the reception it got.
It's not number 2. It's number 7. It's not number 2.
Too much praise, not too much praise.
Too much praise. It came out, everyone loved it. So, what I've done with my list, just before we get started, I've put my list in the order of how they affected me in terms of my favourite. So, I think people know by now, but, people don't know. When we do a list like this, we don't just pick the best game of the year, because I don't think that sort of list is what you listen to a podcast by people like us is about. Like, if you want to listen to, what the games of the year were, you go listen to IGN or to Kotaku or whoever. You go listen to these were the best ones that came out. Whereas what I want to do is I want to pick out the things that I thought were my favourite. And
are
my
they
list...
in order of your favourites?
They are.
Just 7, meaningless, throwaway.
Well, they've gone from... 7 is still good. In a good year, 7 is still pretty good. And I probably had a list of about 15 games that I narrowed this down from. So I'm really happy, considering we struggled for 5 last year. I'm very, very chuffed with this year. So, yeah, God of War wasn't expecting to be into this one, actually. When the stuff was coming out from, E3s and stuff, I was like, seems all right, but it's not the same as the old one. I fear change, like any man. And
I think it probably tied into the fact that you were not particularly fussed with Horizon Zero Dawn.
More like Horizon Zero bored.
I think that tied into sort of, I don't know, you being maybe a little bit sceptical going in as well.
I'm definitely cooling on these kind of the big AAA console exclusive, this is a big Sony game now, because they used to be my bread and butter, and I'm kind of cooling off on them a bit, but yeah, I wasn't too interested. But then as the reviews started coming in and the launch rollout started coming in, and you're watching it thinking, hang on, this looks amazing, wait a second,
it really built up, didn't it? It was one of those where it shook a lot of folks who weren't really that fussed about the game by going
I think it got a lot of people who don't like God of War to play it as well, because, the series has got a bit of a reputation as angry man does angry thing. And I'm fine with that. I love the old games. I had a really good time with the old games. But this does something... It's a bit different. So, it sits on 3 pillars, God of War. It sits on combat, it sits on exploration, and it sits on its story. They're the 3 bits that really stick out for me from my time with it. In terms of, the story... They've got a really, really good, well-realised cast in the game. Every character is unique and well-realised and well-acted and well-directed. I genuinely, gave a shit about everybody. Even Kratos, who many think is a one-note character, has so much levels of nuance and depth in his performance. It was just really a joy to see him evolve in that way. The whole choice to use a single camera, like a one-shot, not-moving camera for the entire game. So even when you hit the cutscenes, it's the same camera shot that's flying around. And if someone hadn't told me, I might not have noticed, but it really helps keep you sort of in the moment, that this is a big, long journey. We're not cutting, we're not breaking, there's no skips. We are following these two on the entire journey from start to finish. I love that. Really, really love that. I didn't think they'd pull it off, but I kept looking for breaks during the game, and were never, not a single one. Not a single one. It goes through the entire game. I couldn't believe it.
Genius.
Proper good. And that was fine. But the exploration as well. I haven't played a game like this in a while, where the side content was just as good as the main story, and I wanted to do it all, but it didn't feel like I was buggering off and going off on a tangent. It felt like it was just part of what you would do. Every sort of side thing we did, there felt like there was a reason for it. They were talking about it, and they were subtly hinted in the boat. Atreus would go, hey, we could go look over there, or we could just go get on with stuff if you want, to sort of say, hey, there's some stuff you might want to look at. Oh, okay, I'll do that. All the little side kind of stories and the side ghosty characters you meet, and sort of how was I going to say, environmental storytelling. You're going around and you're seeing, after the fact, a lot of places, and trying to piece together what happened and who's still there and what's going on. I always enjoy that stuff. But then you get to the third pillar, which is the combat. It's good.
What made it special for you?
oh, it's good. They made it for me. Hey, let's make like a resi camera, but a big choppy axe, which I didn't think would work, and it works so well. The warmth of you calling your axe back to your hand every single time is orgasmic. Like, it's one of the best, most satisfying pieces of feedback I think a game has done all year. That kind of back to your hand every time. And yeah, it's just the thing that Thor does, but it doesn't matter, because it's Kratos, and he's angrier. It's bouncy, it flows, you can read everything going on just in front of you. It's just, you can play with the HUD off, and I don't think you're at that much of a disadvantage if you do, because everything reads so well. It's really meaty, really chunky, just like it always has been, but where the camera's now a bit closer, you really sort of get up in people's faces when you're attacking and you're fighting them, and I think the addition of having your axe being your main weapon as being quite a close weapon means you're always next to the thing that's trying to, you're trying to kill and it's trying to kill you. And yeah, just like visually, like, I don't know how you do things anymore. Like, these things look nicer than films now, and I don't understand how you do it. The only reason I would say this is not higher on my list, because I loved it and I played it absolutely front to back, almost in one continuous gaming week, from top to bottom. Only reason it's not higher is because there's not a lot of room on the outsides for you to have your own experience with it that nobody else will. You're following
like builds and stuff, or
yeah, like the best you can do is put some different stuff on your sword or your axe, and put some different clothes on. Generally, the story beats that you come across and the moments that you make happen are the same ones that everybody else has had, and that's not a problem because those moments are brilliant. But I'm looking for something in my list a little bit more personal to me, a little bit something that more spoke to me as a person, that I know that I could tell someone a story and they go, oh, that's interesting, whereas, oh, I remember that bit. I'd rather, share something a bit more unique. But overall, as a package, God of War, holy crap, well done, guys. Like, I did not expect it to be as good as it was. So, yeah, that's my number 7, is Dad of Boy.
Cool.
Yeah. I'm going to throw back to you now, or I say to you, to the guest artist you have brought in to perform.
We shall say it's a slight tangent because I struggled to get all of these sorted at first, and it's because I went on a journey. I went on a journey through time. There were flames outside of my house and an engine revving, and it was my close personal friends Marty McFly and Doc Brown.
Oh,
and they were going like, CJ, you've got to go back through time. And I was like, why? And they were like, we've got to go back through time, but we thought we'd bring you along with us because we need something that you've got. And I was like, but you've got the flux capacitor. And they were like, it doesn't work anymore. You've got the thing that we need to go back through time. And do you know what that is?
No.
It's the Woomph tube. I know. So I was thinking like, oh, maybe I could find an artist in the past that could help me with the start of the second part of the game of the year. And I went back to the 50s, and I met Frank Zebratoast, and I asked him. I said what I needed to do, and I gave him like a little bit of an idea. And to be honest, I just think he was messing about. I think he was singing about anything for the majority of it. But before I had to go back through time, I did manage to get like a little bit of a song from him. So
okay.
whereas you're starting off big, I'm starting off kind of small with Frabonk Zebratoast's My Number 7.
Going out with the boys, schmoozing with broads. I punched a dog, bought a brand new bike. My number 7 is a game you haven't played. It's funny and shooty. It's the Strange Brigade.
So, yeah, if that didn't come through clearly, my number 7 is the Strange Brigade. So sometimes a game looks like your sort of thing from the off, but somehow you hold back from playing it. You might not fancy the price or fear that you might be wrong. You might be playing enough games at the moment. But when you get there, your instincts prove to be absolutely knob on. Games have gone bigger, open world, more complicated, but sometimes you need that little game to boot up instinctively when you have a little time to twat about. You might not need something to wrap your head around, and you're instead in the mood for that little something you can lose yourself in. So, the Strange Brigade. Not entirely sure what to expect with this one, but it turned up on Game Pass eventually, and I gave it a spin. In the first instance, for the love of God, alter your camera to 20% sensitivity, otherwise it feels jank as all hell.
Is it too quick or too slow?
It's too quick. It needs to sort of be a lot smoother, so you do have to play with the camera to start off with, or I needed to. Beyond that, just get your head around original old school Tomb Raider. Run around, shoot stuff. Not the jumping aspects, mind, but the feel of original PS1 Lara Croft stuff. It helps that I'm playing as Darcy, who's a Northern English lass with a shotgun and a very funny turn of phrase. Funny goes a long way in the Strange Brigade, as the writing and voice acting is absolutely exceptional. Now, the narrator, I think, I haven't looked it up, I think it might be the guy who did the voiceover for the Forza Horizon video, like the British Great Britain. I think it might be the same guy as that. It sounds like it. But Darcy's a top laugh anyway. But yeah, the narrator who enunciates in like a very posh English about the level itself, new enemies, strange happenings, and stuff you pick up. Best of all of this was when I paused the game for the first time and I heard 2 sugars, please. And there's loads of stuff like, I can't believe it! They're sending this enemy in! You'd better get rid of him, Strange Brigade! And it's all like, you say, what's that in the corner? It's a cheeky little trinket. Why not shoot it, yes? And loads of, like, I genuinely find it, like, hilariously funny.
It sounds like a corny old radio show.
Yeah, but the delivery on all fronts is brilliant. I mean, I haven't explored the other characters. I've just been playing sort of Darcy, who's a bit like the you can do it sort of poster woman. But she's got a Yorkshire accent and she's fantastic. There was another time as well with the where I paused it. No, that was it. I just left the game alone because I was in a quiet spot, and I went to make a brew, and I just heard something along the lines of, I can promise you, I can wait this out longer than you can. There was absolute silence. Like, I left it, and then when I did come, pick up the joypad again, it was like, I told you so.
I didn't know it was that sort of, like, funny. Like, I'd been following the game a little bit because I follow Rebellion on Twitter because of the Dread stuff. Because the whole parent company that owns the same, games division that do Sniper Elite and stuff like that as well, don't they? And they also own 2000 AD. So I kind of had followed it, but I never picked up that it was going to be that kind of funny. It just looked like a rollicking good Left 4 Dead time, but with Mayans.
I wouldn't say Left 4 Deadish. It's like, how we've had those conversations about old PS2 and PS1 like AA games. It feels like that. I mean, it is beautiful to look at, and tremendous fun. But there's a wonderful simplicity in there, which I don't want to put as a criticism, because it's just great to pick up and run around and collect loot and just hear like Darcy go like glowing up like, "Hey, clear off!" and stuff like that. And like, oh, lovely ammo. And that's even before I've got into the rest of them. I think the guy who wears sort of the British World War One uniform has got like a Cockney accent and stuff, and sounds a bit sort of David Bowie-ish, I guess. And there's a lot of characters, and they introduce more of them in the DLC and the season pass as well. Mm-hmm. But just one of those, and the reason that we haven't been able to record for a while is because shifts and stuff. And it's just nice to come home and go like, okay, I've been on a late shift. I've got 2 hours before I've got to go to bed again. Fancy a bit kickabout and have a little bit of a laugh and be entertained. And it's fitted into that. So it's rather than anything else, it's suggested itself to me just because it's made me giggle when I'm knackered, and I've quite liked drawing loads of sort of zombie-ish undead creatures towards me and then shooting a massive fan on the floor that just grinds them up, and doing those Tomb Raider-y sort of little puzzles and stuff. It's really entertaining, and it's now like around about £15.
It's not bad.
It's good fun.
Have you played any co-op with it, or is it just solo so far? Because its market is mainly as a co-op title, isn't it?
Yeah, I've only played it solo because I've been playing it on Xbox One from Game Pass, but it's long since one that I genuinely like to play with you, because I think we'd have a time with it, and with your love of Rebellion, and you liking pulp stuff as well. I think you get a lot out of it, maybe that other folks won't. But I just found it fun. Don't expect anything to turn the world around. But I don't mean that. It always sounds like criticism when I say something like that. But it's just good fun in the way that older games were good fun, and I think that's to be celebrated.
It's not trying to be anything groundbreaking. It's just trying to be fun.
Yeah, it's
in
not
a way.
trying
Do you know
to,
what I mean? Like, again, that sounds like a criticism as well, doesn't it? But like, it knows what it is, and it tries to do its own job really well. It sounds like. Yeah,
and like I say, it's tremendously written. Tremendously written. The writing is amongst the best I've had all year. So when you've got 15 notes to spare, I will buy it again on PS4 to play it with you. But also, tip of the hat towards Game Pass for offering something like this so quickly. It's beer of a belt.
God, only came out like what? Summer?
September, I think. Yeah.
September. Jesus.
I think it's one of those where you get a lot of stuff on Game Pass where if a DLC is about to launch, you might get the game when its initial burst of sales have gone, so that people can then buy it and then go, oh, I really like this, I'll buy the DLC. Or in the case of The Division, where it's about to come off Game Pass, but for about 6 months it was there in the run up to Division 2 and stuff. So it's they sort of weave in like that, but it's it's a good game. I think you'd have a lot of fun with it.
Nice. I will keep my eye on the sales.
Cool. Tell me about your number 6, sir.
I'm going to clear my throat and load up this pre-recorded song that I did, because we're really maintaining the illusion here today.
What do you mean? You've recorded your own songs, and if that first one was anything to go by, you've done a really good job.
Cool.
Me, I cashed in some chips. I asked a few favours. But, you've started off well, so, I believe in you.
I don't. Here we go. You should know that a man with the power of lucha can grab you and then flip you about. You should know by my mask and my tight leather pants, I got Poyo powers, that's no doubt. Chicken attack, chicken attack. My beak will snap as I break your back. I might look gormless, but I'll kick your skeleton ass. Go chicken go, go chicken go. Bomb X too late. Great combo move on Thank you. Sorry, my throat really went there. So this was the game where I learned that I can't sing high notes.
I'm taking a sip of coffee, right? Sorry, I can't see my monitor now. Just did.
Luchadors and Chickens. Guacamele 2 is my number 6 this year.
Which is your former. The first one was your former Game of the Year, I believe.
It was my Game of the Year 2013 because I looked it up and I had to go on YouTube.
Long ago?
I had to go on YouTube, and it was when we had the bad microphones. So we're like, well, my Game of the Year is. Yeah, it's then. 2013. It beat out The Last of Us when it came out. Because again, I go by favourite, not my best. My favourite. Guacamele 2 came out this year.
You caned this again, didn't you? And then you caned it on hard mode.
No, you're wrong.
Oh, you caned it instantly on hard mode?
I caned it instantly. I put in the cheat code to unlock hard mode immediately and went straight for it. And I platinumed that thing on my first run. I did everything. And let me tell you, at some points, I did want to die. I wanted to die. I wanted to claw out my own eyes. You know when you think, I can do this, I'll be fine. And then you get to a point in a game, you're like, I don't know if I can do this.
Yeah, but you are very good at video games.
Really not.
You really are.
No. You lie, sir. I'm lucky.
No.
But Guac 2, like again, it's the sequel to a game I love. And much like God of War had the three pillars of combat, exploration, and story, Guacamelee 2 has the three pillars of combat, exploration, and funny jokes. It's it's really similar to the first game. It's just a sequel, and it sounds again like a negative thing. But I love Guacamelee, so more Guacamelee is a really good thing. It focuses on a new world, a new place. Juan the Luchador is now older. He's got fat. He's forgotten how to do lucha stuff. Like, that's how they reason away the fact you don't have any powers at the start of the game. It's like, oh, he just got old and fat and out of practice. And so you have to kind of get yourself, you have to find it again. Much like these games do, you have to find the power again. You progress in much the same way. You run around, you pick up new moves from statues, you use those moves to both beat up your enemies and also explore your levels. Everything you get is a dual purpose. You can either do combat with it or you can explore with it. All of your moves kind of are used to open doors or to get up to higher ledges or to jump across stupid gaps, or you can use everything to juggle a sweet foe. The first game had a chicken. You could turn into a chicken, and you could run around and peck. That was about it. In this game, the chicken stuff has been muchly expanded. You can do a lot more stuff as the chicken now, to the point where I actually beat one of the hardest story challenges as the chicken. Because it was better for that scenario. I needed fast, and I needed quick, and I needed to ping people into spikes. The chicken is really, really good at that, and can do it really, 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 really fast. Again, should I have picked hard at first? Maybe not, because I did want to die halfway through. But the feeling of doing it was just glorious, just really, really, really funny. The game plays good, it plays smooth. If you've ever played Smash Brothers, he controls like Captain Falcon. The moves are basically the same. You hold down the special button and he does a big punch on the spot. You press up on the special button and he does a jumping punch. You press forward on the special button, he does like a dashing punch. It controls like Captain Falcon. It's Captain Falcon in a game. Something else I quite liked, about halfway through, there is a secret room you can find. And there's a lot more like video game references in this one. There's a mimic chest you can meet at one point who gets all pissed off. He's like, why are you attacking me? Dude, I've done nothing wrong. There's a couple of Street Fighter 2 homages as well. You go through a room, through a sort of a dimension. It's all about dimension hopping in this one. And you see a guy with a car. It's like, I just bought this car. It's cool, isn't it? And the camera just kind of like does that kind of pan in to Juan's face where he's just staring like, It's like, what? Why are you looking at my car like that for? And it pans back again like, And then you break the car. And it's great. And the guy's like, why did you do that? There was no reason. And your sort of co-op partner goes, yeah, why did you do that? And, like, and you just carry on with your day. But the best room by far, there is a room full of... now, the first game had a lot of memes in it. Things like your "Oh really, owl" and the Angry Wolf stuff and the cheeseburger stuff. 5 year ago memes. It had loads of those everywhere. They were plastered on all the signs, or like Mexican versions of the memes. There's a room you can go to in this one that has all of those signs like up on a wall. And you talk to people and they say, "Oh, this meme humor is really bad." Jonathan 101. They've pulled actual comments off of YouTube stuff and stuck them in the game. And I didn't realise it. I didn't realise it halfway through. Like, hang on a second, these have all got names? I know what they've done. They've laughed at themselves, and I think that's to be matchly applauded. I haven't got much else to say about it because it's just really, really fucking good.
It is strange that I think that a couple of platformers that have meant a lot to us this year have sort of fallen by the wayside at the side of like Dead Cells and what's the other one? Hollow Knight. And
it's because they're not Dark Souls and nobody cares.
Yeah, maybe. But I remember the first Quack had sort of quite a lot of attention, so it's a shame because I know a few people other than yourself that speak really highly of the sequel.
It just plays like a dream. And I think it went, like, I mean, I'd kind of actually forgotten it was coming out until a week before. Like, wait, it's coming out now, because the news cycle was just ignoring it in favour of, well, like you say, like, these kind of soulsy sort of games that get a bit more of our attention, maybe, because of the echo chamber that we have constructed for ourselves. I don't know, maybe that's it, but Guac 2 is just a really, really good Metroidvania type game. You run around, you beat up some enemies, use some really, really good platforming, and it'll probably make you laugh as well.
Cool. Can't
Buy
say
it.
better than that. Yeah.
Buy it, it's good.
Right, my number 6.
I'm ready.
Okay, singing exclusive to Humanities tune, Load. It's Cockney punk rock and then cheeky funk rock tunesmith, Gimba Dawn.
What is shape? Who is shape? Why am line? Where it go? Do another. Do another. Do another. Do another. What a load of blocks. Not a load of bollocks. What a load of blocks. Not a load of bollocks. Make my telly go shiny, shiny. Make my telly go shiny, shiny. Dual shock 4. Wumpity, wumpity. Throb, throb, I got wumpity, wumpity. What a load of blocks. Not a load of bollocks. What a load of blocks. Not a load of bollocks. It's really good.
Thank you, Gimba Dawn.
That's incredible. That was really good.
So, Tetris Effect.
So I need a second. That was fantastic. I thought you were doing like Bowie at the start. I was like, oh, this is good.
That will come later. So,
oh, Tetris then.
Tetris Effect, a gift from the ginger boy to the coffee hotness. And
oh, it's me.
It's me! And one that, once again, fits into my gaming world nicely. The reason it's not further up the list is because rather than playing it on the different levels and variations, I'm pretty spellbound by a couple of the early levels and keep replaying them. We discussed this on the previous one with the best moment. But this one's got a nice tail heading into 2019 for me, and it's something that I'm going to keep playing and playing. But it's like the equivalent of a really good album when you start at the first track and maybe you've got a certain distance to go to the shops or to work or whatever it might be, and you just keep playing that first track and it takes you ages to get to track 2 and to track 3, and then maybe you play 1 to 3 in a loop, and it takes you ages to get to the end of the album because you're just having these like brilliant little slices that you're absolutely falling into. And
this is really weird, a really weird touchstone, because that exact thing happened to me with David Bowie.
Really?
That exact thing. I wanted to go through his whole discography and got stuck on the first and second albums.
But that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I suppose it ties into kind of the way that I play games anyway. But I'm in no rush to cane something and leave it alone. If I'm enjoying it, I like to kind of marinate in how special it is. So I thank you again for this because I genuinely love it. And I think Gimba Dawn has done a great job of putting that into a really effective and affecting tune.
It did blow my socks away. I enjoyed your song. So when you say, like, how many levels in would you say you are? Like, how many different songs have you heard? Because I'm curious to know where you're stuck. Like, not stuck, but like where you are, you are sitting. Have you played the jazz level yet?
The two, I can't remember them off the top of my head, but the first one I'm spellbound by, and then the one with the jellyfish on. I keep playing that. Those two in particular.
The jellyfish one, is that the one where when you do a line it goes doogie-da?
Yeah, it might be. They're both sort of very submersive and underwater levels, and they sound great in the headphones. And I just, even if I start on the first level, it's kind of getting to that fourth one that's the target in of itself. But yeah, like I say, I'm chipping away at it, and I'm no rush to keep going, but I keep coming back to it. And
can I give you something here? Can I give you just a little? Maybe it'll just give you a little something to go when you get to unlocking the effect nodes. Because you seem to like the water levels a lot. Like the first one's quite a watery level. That one's water. There's one where you can just play water levels.
Oh, it doesn't surprise me, but
yeah.
And I've seen on Twitch the original Tetris level, and that was I was pretty spellbound by that. But I'm in no rush to kind of cane this, because it's nice finding something special and new every time I get back to it.
Yeah, do excuse that sound. That was Laura telling me she's back home soon. So sorry.
Okay. So yeah.
Bravo.
There we go. Number 5.
That was 6.
Yeah. So you're number 5 then.
My number 5. Let me just get rid of that notification on my phone that turned up, so I can actually press the damn button. Oh no, it's a really ropey one. I booted up my Vita. Iconoclast is good. 2018 on Vita. This game could not have been anything sweeter. Iconoclast is good. Played a game on my Vita. Iconoclast the name, bought it for no real reason. It looked like fun and it was the dry season. This game was even quite visually pleasing. I grabbed my gun, I grabbed my wrench, upgraded with the bench. My 2 hands stopped to clench. This game was really pretty hench, and it didn't cost me many pence. Cause I'm swinging my tools, shooting my gun, having some conversations with someone, opening doors, jumping through floors, philosophical words about war.
I think you've undersold yourself. That was really good.
Oh, it hurt to sing though. That one took the most times to do. Because up here it's hard to stay at for any more than 4 seconds.
So announce your game, sir, and tell us why.
My number 5 game is a game called Iconoclasts, which came out mid-year on many things, but also the Vita. I played a game on the Vita in 2018, a new game.
I remember you spoke about this on the show, didn't you?
A little bit, yeah. I definitely touched on it. I don't think I've ever gone in detail on it, but I definitely touched on it. So what led me here is do you know what? I'm not even sure why I bought this one. I did allude that in the song, but I don't actually know why I bought it. I didn't know much about it. I'd seen some of the art of the game floating around on Twitter. The developer, a sole developer, Joachim Sonberg, Konjak on Twitter, has been making this game by himself for about 9 years. Everything, gameplay, story, art, music, everything. He's done every single thing. Which is really, really impressive because it is one of it's one of the most polished, like well realized, like beautiful bits of like game art that I've played in a really long time. And again, I kind of saw it on the store. I thought, it looks interesting. How much is it? Oh, it's like 13 quid at a launch discount. I was like, give that a go. Go on then. So I pressed the button on it, and only after I bought it did I see that there was a Vita version as well. It's one of those cross-play games where you can play it on the telly or on the Vita. I was like, oh, okay. Didn't know that. Well, for the sake of, being interesting, let's put it on the Vita. Because I'll always play stuff like that on there first, because it fits nice, Binding of Isaac, Spelunky, Rogue Legacy, they all fit nicely on the Vita, and this, I think, occupies a similar space, I think.
Yeah, plus if you're, playing something on the big telly, you can jump into that.
Yeah, I think that even was what we did. I can't remember what it was she was playing at the time. Probably Don't Starve. It's always Don't Starve. But yeah, no, I had something to do then, and she could watch telly or whatever, and I could sit there and just happily whack away at a surprisingly meaty and long platformer. I would say my final game clock was about 20 hours, which I did not expect.
Sweet.
These games tend to be, bash them out in about 8 hours and you're done. It's a lot of meat on these bones, and I did a lot of running around, picking up the extra stuff on it as well, so I probably could have rushed through a little bit faster, but I didn't want to. So the game is a 2D side-scrolling puzzle platformer. Not in the same way as Quack 2. It's more of like your old Mega Drive or SNES kind of platformers where you kind of run around, gain a few tools as you go, but generally you're upgrading a skill set sort of slowly. You're experiencing the world, in different ways and picking up different guns and different upgrades for your basic wrench so it can do other things. You've got electric puzzles that come involved. You've got switches you can turn by hooking your wrench in and kind of just cranking them. But the little crank animation is so good. And the sound effect for it is like a whoop, like a whoop, whoop. You just want to keep doing it. I'm going to keep opening and closing this door for a minute because it's very satisfying. It's very pleasing to do so. The world is really well realised, and there's lots of variety in the places you go. There's like deserts and forests and building complexes and science factories and an underground base at one point, underwater base, which is really fun to explore. There is a kind of complicated plot going on in the background. And I say in the background, not really the background, because it's in the front and centre basically all the time. The cutscenes are, I'll be honest, a bit long and a bit wordy at times. There were times when, you get like a JRPG and you're playing it, and you hit an X, and you hit an X, and you're like, okay, I get it. I get it. No, I get it now. I get it. Oh, someone else has turned up.
A beautiful pudding, but over-egged.
Yeah, definitely. A couple too many eggs on this one. And I think one of the biggest criticisms the game has had is that the plot is a little bit preachy, maybe, or I've seen some people say pretentious, which I think is a crap word anyway. But it definitely
sometimes
swings.
When anything is a labour of love, in particular for one person, there can be a super focus, and maybe, I've no problem noticing ambition if it's got a few flaws in it, and it sounds like that's exactly what's happened.
It is, and that's exactly where I've taken it as well, like what I've done with it. The story is really good, the characters are fantastic, you give a shit, and again, like, things happen to these little pixel people, and I'm like, no. What? No. Nah. Really? What? Nah. Laura, nah. Come here, look at this. Nah. It plays great. It does. Like, it's a surprisingly chunky game. Like I say, 20 hours is nothing to sniff at. I think it's on sale all the time as well. Like, it's cheap as chips all the time. It's just a really, really well-polished, really together game. And I kind of felt like I was the only person on my friends list or on Twitter that was playing it at the time. And it kind of felt, again, like one of those ones that was for me. Whereas everyone else is playing Spider-Man, I'm off enjoying this weird little platformer myself and having a really good time with it.
But I like that. We've spoken about that being sort of a way forward for us next year of kind of falling into like weird stuff.
Yeah, and this fits the bill. Yeah, and like I say, I've in our kind of, I know you did a bit of this as well, revisiting stuff on the list to see how you really, to solidify our feelings on it. Like that really did chuck this back in as like, this game was really good. Like I really enjoyed this. I'm halfway through a second run again. On it, it's unlocked a hard mode and a really hard mode. I think it's one-hit kills. I don't fancy that. It's not that kind of game for me. I like having that safety net of being able to get smacked a few times. One quick thing before I finish up. The boss fights. Oh, God, the boss fights are really good. Yeah. Really inventive, really clever. There's about 20 of the damn things as well. And when I say boss fights, it's not like a Souls boss fight. It's just a bog standard, platform game. Here's a cool big thing. Work out how to kill it. Some of them are puzzles, some of them are straight out fights, some of them require a bit of character switching as well. Like, it's just clever. It's clever. Lots of cool little ideas throughout the game, and lots of little, back references and things, and if you're paying attention, you'll do fine. It's a good game. A really good game. Like I say, it's on at least PS4, Vita, PC, and Switch. I don't know if it's on the Xbox One or not, but I know they've just done a limited run game, so just done a physical version. That's come out, I think, today even, or yesterday. And I think it's pretty much probably sold out already, so never mind. But yeah, Iconoclast, really good game. Number 5.
Outstanding.
Thanks.
Right, I'll move on to my number 5 then, and I will start with a song called "The Fun That Never Ends." Now, this is the artist behind this, famous for his modern-day meme of tricking someone. Oh no, I've been Ron-rolled. An exclusive slice of 90s...
Carry on.
An exclusive slice of 90s dance pop phenomenon from Ron Wooverly.
adventure. Just me and my best friend, looking for cupcakes, fun that never ends. Do you have a giraffe in your backpack that goes la 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 la? I've got a giraffe in my backpack that goes la 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 la. All that talk about dead cells, hollow night, not for me, no, no. Adventure Pals is the bestest, and I'll tell you why, oh. Do you have giraffe in your backpack that goes la 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 la? I've got giraffe in the backpack that goes la 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 la.
Very good.
Thank you. It's,
very good.
You know, Ron Wooverly's obviously is still in high demand, especially after that meme of tricking someone. Oh no, I've been Ron rolled.
Fuck you.
So
I was wondering what platform you were going to talk about, because I couldn't quite twig that when we were talking earlier. Now it's so clear.
Yeah.
Do you have a giraffe in your backpack that goes la 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 la?
Sorry, that's my impression of Ron Wooverly.
That's good. That sounded just like him.
So the Adventure Pals, in recent years I'd come to the conclusion that platformers were not for me. They were a favourite as a kid, but recent forays into Shovel Knight, Wonder Boy and Celeste left me cold. But clearly I was waiting for the right platformer. The Adventure Pals came via a recommendation from the forever brilliant Holly Bennett. I adored the setting, the sense of humour was absolutely my bag, levels were wonderfully designed, difficulty frankly perfect in its ability to coax you in, make you think you could rinse every level, then introduce new mechanics and complexities as things evolve, like getting cupcakes and stuff. It's mad, it's colourful, huge amounts of fun to play. I wish it had gotten the same amount of press that the likes of Dead Cells, Celeste and Hollow Knight had. At some point it's going to hit PS Plus and folks will go bonkers about it, which if nothing else I hope sets things up for a better selling sequel. So yeah, and I bought this for you for your birthday.
You did. I was very appreciative. I played the bit of this with Laura in co-op, and I think it's probably better on your own.
I remember you saying.
I had fun. I was laughing. But like, yeah, sharing because we were both hitting X for the speech stuff. And like we both hit it a half second apart, and then skip whole lines. Like, oh shit, were you doing it? Was I doing it? Ah, dicks.
It is genuinely brilliant.
But yeah, I went back on my own later.
Dialogue.
Yeah, I went back on my own later, and I could then appreciate it more on my own. Yeah, it's really fun as well. Like it's. This is gonna sound like a dig again. It's got that sort of almost Adventure Time sort of style and humour to it, but I thought this was actually funny. Whereas I find Adventure Time to just be, I can't watch it. It makes me angry.
To give people a bit of an idea, you kind of run along and you jump along through the levels and stuff, but it goes a little bit Bionic Commando because like Ron Wooverly said, you've got a giraffe in your backpack that goes lol 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 lol, which means that his tongue can be used as a helicopter, but also in later levels it can kind of thwack out and sort of like Bionic Commando and hit sort of bits on high levels and like swing you along to them and stuff, so it becomes a bit pitfall as it gets sort of further on in. So you might see like a little notch somewhere near the sky, and you can fire out the giraffe's tongue, and it will like fling you up towards it and beyond it. And there's loads of hidden stuff there, so the gameplay sort of evolves a bit from there. But it is genuinely funny. I remember when you saw there's a bit with a whale that's kind of thinking it's a bit naked, and then you go and find it a thong. There's a girl sitting on a rock, and you're go to see her, and she was like, "Oh no, don't look at me. It's probably not best." And it says like hashtag I woke up this way, hashtag blessed.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
And like silly stuff like that. I loved it to pieces and played it to bits. But again, outside of Holly sort of banging the drum for it, I don't think it got the attention it deserved. So.
And it's really colourful and bouncy and splashy as well. Like, it was quite fun just to run around and just wallop things.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to play. Also, you know, the actual combat when you get in and into it, it's like it's got a little bit weight to it. You genuinely do start twatting the things that are there. Also, you've got a magic rock who is brilliant that you can put different hats on, and the different hats that you get give it like different abilities.
Okay.
There's a lot in there. It's a tremendous amount of fun. I loved it, which is why it's my number 5.
Yeah, and you caned it as well, didn't you?
I've still got stuff that I can do on it, but I found it like super addictive. Because
you've got like
I loved it.
You can is it like 5-star or A+ the levels as well, can't you? Where you go through again and go through faster.
I've 5-starred most of the levels that I've done, but again, that's
one
of those.
CJ, I'm not very good at games.
No, that's one of those that kind of rather than going through the game and then going back to the level again, I kind of wanted to keep playing the level. I felt like I got unfinished business with the level, which is why I went back to it and sort out all the cupcakes and stuff and the smiley cupcakes. But yeah, I loved it to pieces, and I hope you find your way with it.
I will soon.
Number 4 then, sir.
Number 4. My number 4 is I spoke to you earlier about have a bit of a reshuffle. So I had my list. I was happy on my list, and I've been playing my number 4 game over the last 2 weeks, and I've had to put it up a bit because I couldn't leave it at the position it was in good conscience. And before we do anything else, here is my song.
Never seen you looking so healthy as you did tonight. I've never seen your mane so bright. Oh, I've never seen so many men ask you if you wanted to ride. They're looking for a little rawhide. They have been denied. And I bought the saddle that you're wearing, and the carrots and the hay, the kind you like. Animal bike, I'm playing right. Dead Redemption 2, horse to cheek. There's no cowpokes here. It's just you and me. Where I wanna be, but I hardly know. This Philly by my side, I'll never forget the ride we took tonight.
Fantastic. Again, I think you're super selling yourself short. Well played. When the music started, I was like, what fits in with this chorus?
That's how I chose my songs.
And then I was like, hey, he's not talking about that game.
I'd just like to raise attention to one line, which I'm very proud of. Animal bike.
That's really good. Again, you said you started off sort of big and then it went all downhill, and I disagree. You do good things, my man.
Thank you. Red Dead Redemption 2 then. Now, again, when I wrote the song, I was kind of in one mind, and in the last week since I wrote the song, I'm now in another mind about it. That song was obviously a love letter to a horse.
You're only human.
I know, right? And I love my horse. I love my horse greatly. But since like that, I've kind of found my way with the game a bit more. The reason it was that I had it at number 6 originally. Again, for the same reason where I was playing it, I was having fun, but it didn't kind of feel like it spoke to me.
I think there's a certain expectation when you love a first game as well.
Oh, tell me about it. Yeah, Red Dead 1 is like up there. When this was announced, I was on it day one. Like, oh my god, they're doing it. They're actually doing it. The madmen are actually making Red Dead 2. I'm in. I'll throw money at whoever I need to right now. I don't need to know anything else other than the fact it's coming. That's all I need to know. Like, gimme. And like, I was having fun with it. Like, again, at time of writing my list on January the 1st, like a rational person should do with a Game of the Year list. I was having fun with it, but I wouldn't say it was anything different. Like, it was exceptional, like I was having a great time with it, like everything's so polished and realised, and there's so many things you can do. It's a really, really, really good open world game, but at that point, it was like, it's just a really, really good open world game. Like, I'm having fun, you know, doing the hunting and the trapping and making a stupid outfit for my boy. Just generally diddling about and getting on with it. Like, I wouldn't say I'd had any real attachment to Arthur Morgan, the main character. At that point, I liked the people at camp, but they weren't like my favourites. You know, like, I was kind of nearly there with it. I was probably about 20, 30 hours in when I wrote that. I'm like, yeah, I'm having fun, but I don't know if I'm there with it yet. In the last 2 weeks, for goodness sake, the second half of the game, as things start devolving a little, as things start going wrong for the gang, as they start moving camps and they're being chased by more and more different groups and things don't go off the way they should. And it should be no spoiler that being this is a prequel to the first game, you know, people are going to die. You know, people aren't going to make it out okay. Given the first game, you know, people don't make it out at the end of this one. People die all the time. And I would say around the second half, there is a moment where the entire tone of the game shifts. They tease it a little over the last kind of, you know, 5 or 6 hours of the game. They start teasing things, and then there's a moment where there's a sudden shift, and suddenly you're in a whole new place with the game. And I don't want to say it out loud, because I don't want to spoil it if you ever want to play it, because it's fantastic. And if people listening, if they haven't played it, it's fantastic, and I wouldn't want to have it spoiled for me either. But suddenly, Arthur becomes a different character, almost. Like, he becomes a more human character. He looks inward a bit more. He's not the kind of rollicking great outlaw that he was at the start of the game, where he's like, yeah, we're just going to get some money and get out and we're going to have some fun. He starts to look inward. He starts to regret his life. He starts to change, almost. I didn't expect it to hit me as hard as it did, and I don't know if I've seen a game do this with a character.
Oh, wow.
Something this brave and different and out there with him. I knew it wasn't going to end well for him, because these games rarely do, but I didn't expect them to take the direction they took. It's hit me, and it's kind of a bit of a cheat, because all this stuff has happened in the last 2 weeks, you know, after the new year. So really, if I'm going with Game of the Year 2018, then my feelings at the halfway point should be really what I was considering. But I don't think in good conscience I could not call attention to this stuff, because this has made the game for me. Like, this has really turned it from a good open world game to one of my favourites.
But I think there's a thing to be said for having the headspace to be able to to fall into a game like this, and to be able to let it affect you, and to have the time and, you know, the mental capacity to fully open yourself up and then enjoy it, you know, mind and heart and sort of, you know, visuals aplenty. Yeah,
and I'm not done with it yet. Like, I'm still playing the epilogue. Like, I'm still in there. And I'm not okay. Like, I was playing it up to about 2 o'clock today. Again, like, just banging through, because last night was when things started going really south.
Wasn't it the other day when I was playing something till 3 o'clock and you were like, I can't do that anymore?
Yeah. No. I mean 2 p.m, like an hour and a half ago.
Right, okay.
Today, yeah, not last night. I did call it early last night. Thought, no, I have to go to bed because I will be up all night if I do this now, and I have to be fresh for recording. I have to be fresh. Yeah, I did not expect it to hit me in the way that it did, and I suppose in a way that was naive of me, because Red Dead 1 hit me in a way I wasn't expecting as well. But this was a whole different way of doing it, and yeah, I've said to myself when I finish it, because I'm playing him as a good guy, the whole karma thing. I said to myself when I finished it, I was going to play it again, and I'm kind of wondering now if it's going to fall into that sort of near automata territory where I'm going to do it once and then I don't want to touch it again, because that was the playthrough I did, and that's the way I want to remember it. With that's my Arthur Morgan.
I think sometimes it's difficult to go back to games because of the way you originally played them. I mean, still feel like this about Bioshock 2, which is like a crazy, crazy personal experience when I went through it. It grew on me the more and more it went along. The final quarter was just outstanding, and the ending still stays with me. And whilst there's this part of me that wants to experience that again, that wants to revisit the characters, that, you know, has genuinely missed Rapture in general, but I don't want to overwrite those initial memories that I made at all. I don't want to revisit them because they're, you know, it's like a good book and not wanting to see the movie, I guess. But
exactly the same. Yep, exactly the same. That's where I am with this. And like I say, when I'm done, I'm probably done. Actually, one of the disconnects I've had with it is when you sort of see people talking about the game and they're talking about their character who's a bit of a dick. You're like, well, that's not my guy, you know. Or
ironically for you,
I know, right? I know. I wanted to go in as a dick, but I couldn't do it. Like, he's too much of a cool boy to do that. And like, even I've seen artwork and stuff, and you look at it and you think, well, that's cool, but that's not my guy. You know, that's not the beard that I have chosen. That's not the outfit I've chosen. That's not the way that I play the game. Like, it's not my character. And I like that it gives you the freedom to express yourself in that way. Like, I've got a very particular set of outfits I've constructed for each individual, you know, time of day. Or if it's raining, if it's dry, if it's hot, if it's cold. Like, I've got different outfits for all these different things and different hats that I've picked out as well. And they're my ones. And if, like, you see your character, if they kind of make you change clothes at any point, you're like, well, that's not my guy. There was one point where we had to tidy ourselves up for a mission. It's like, oh, we're going to go to the mayor's ball. We have to tidy up. And it says, right, go to the barber's and get a haircut or get your beard trimmed. Like, I don't want to. That's mine. I'm not doing that. I settled for the basic, like, very least amount of tidying up I could possibly get away with. But yeah, that kind of solidifies what I think. Like, he's my character now. Like, he's one of the ones that I'm going to look back on and think, yeah, he's my favourite character of the year for no question. I thought about this earlier, and I don't think I've had another character in a game that's I felt this much attachment to by the end, apart from maybe the horse.
We've got a lot of similarity here, so I'll speak about that a little bit later.
I love my horse, as you can tell by the song. So, yeah, that's my number 4 of the year, shooting up the list, Red Dead 2.
Cool. My number 4, a bit of a coup here, with a tune from handsome emo singer Fanta Boy.
My life from nowhere. I didn't expect to have so much fun. A risky date recommended by a mate. 2000 AD plus demon souls plus guns. Demon souls plus guns. Realize I needed you till 2018. 2000 AD plus demon souls plus guns. Demon souls plus guns.
That was beautiful.
Thanks.
That was beautiful. It took me a second. I was like, what's he singing about? Ah ha ha.
2000 AD plus demon souls plus guns.
Yeah. I just thought you were wanking on about demon souls. Like, wait.
Yeah. Yeah, just curtailed my number 4. Just for the plug that it's probably on its way.
You've already played that.
So, Immortal Unchained came out of nowhere, took over my life for a good portion of time, and throughout it all, I was spellbound. 2000 AD meets demon souls plus guns. A staggering amount of passion and ambition from Toman Interactive. My own momentum only curtailed by the build-up to Christmas in coffee to retail, and my wonky old hours and waiting on a patch that promised to buff my schmexy sniper game. Yeah, we've spoken about this a lot. So
we've done 4 whole episodes about it, haven't we?
That's my number 4, Immortal Unchained.
Nice. So Well, I've got...
Currently on sale, buy it.
Yeah, you should. Buy it. How far along are you now? Because I know we last spoke, you were kind of at the halfway-ish point, right?
I haven't been back to it since then, because I was waiting. That was when I was waiting on the patch, and then stuff just got daft.
Well, I can tell you, noted scoundrel Jeremy Greer,
I know,
worst man in the world, has just finished a sniper run of the game since the patch.
He's my friend as well.
Well, is he? That was mean. He's just finished a sniper run of the game, and he says it's very good now.
Yeah, but I believe they've given it a good wallop. So it's one of those, because I'm off next week, so I'm probably going to return to it from there. But I think it's a bit spash. A lot more spash than the reviews would give you credit for. But hopefully,
those reviews were all over the goddamn place, weren't they?
Hopefully, with the attention from Bonfireside Chat, a few more folks will tune in and give it a good crack of the whip.
Better than Dead Cells.
Well, I don't know. I've not played it. But
neither have I. I'm just putting it out there because again, we do things differently here, don't we?
So we are on to number 3.
Ooh, number 3. Put on my helmet. Choose something chill. Stop making lines. It's so peaceful until it's level 9. Oh shit! Just in one line. That's it. I've plugged it in. Oh fuck! I've never screwed up Tetris quite this bad. I feel like such a silly lad. At least the music's pretty rad. Tetris.
Well done. Have you got any neighbours now?
I was so self-conscious recording that. I was in my front room about 9 a.m. thinking, they're going to think I've gone insane.
Just going out like with a hard hat on, just going like, yeah, we've got some important gas work to do. Can you just like clearing the street? But again, you sold yourself short. Well played, my friend.
Thank you. Yeah, that one took a few goes as well. I couldn't get the screams right.
No, they're there.
Yeah, thanks. Tetris. That's why I kept my mouth shut a bit when you were talking about Tetris, because I also wanted to talk about Tetris a bit. I wasn't even that interested until the demo came out. I was like, it's cool, but it's just Tetris, isn't it? You know, Tetris with some nice music.
No, it's not. No.
How foolish was I? How much of a fool was I?
Very much.
Yeah, so we downloaded the demo. Obviously, being a VR game, we've got the headset now. Like, now I've got the headset. Now I'm semi-interested at least. So downloaded the demo, put it on, and God, yeah, just fell in love immediately. I would say that this game is probably better for us because, I played a lot of it with Laura. We did the campaign sort of trading off on the helmet, basically. So one of us had to put the helmet on in the VR and they play the game. The other one can just watch on the screen so you can see what's happening as well, enjoy the music too. And just trading out and having fun with it. Enjoying the music, enjoying the way the levels progress each time. Those 3D effects in the VR headset, holy shit.
Yeah,
if you ever get one, you're going to lose your mind. You're never going to leave. With Tetris and this, you are never going to leave.
Is that where you are? Is that why you couldn't do the life equation of beef plus Kobe's equals fun on Twitter? Because you're actually...
You just got that wrong.
What? Did I say your version?
You said beef plus Kobe's equals fun.
Oh my God.
You've done
this
it now.
This isn't me. My head's in the VR headset.
Oh no.
Beef
Let's
plus
take them
fun
off
equals
now.
Kobe's.
Beef
Oh my
plus fun
God.
equals
What are we
Kobe's.
doing?
There we go. We're back.
Yeah.
We're back.
Thanks. Beef plus fun equals Kobe's. Say it.
Beef plus fun equals Kobe's.
Thank God.
I don't have the bell nearby.
That's all right. Bing.
Ding, the division bell. So, yeah, this game was... We've already talked about how much the levels progress. There's a level later on, a jazz one, is my own level that I've got stuck on, which is all plinky-planky pianos and subway maps, and New York and those lights when cars are driving around. That's my favourite level. Laura's favourite is, I think, very similar to yours, she likes the jellyfish ones.
She's a smart lady.
She likes jellyfish anyway. She calls them jelly bobs. And it's always the one she goes back to because it's like the visually pleasing one.
See? Smart lady.
Yeah. And I know we talked about it a while ago, but good God, that mystery mode, we were not expecting that mystery mode. You put it on and it just throws random power-ups at you as you're playing Tetris, and you're not ready. You're not ready for it. We thought we were. We weren't. It's also led to some wonderful things said in the house, including the phrase that Laura's assistant manager, Paula, who came around to sort of try it out for a bit, Laura's trying to tell her what to do, and she just shouts at her, "You're not allowed to talk right now."
Box quote.
Amazing. We've talked about the visuals a lot. We've talked about the music a lot. Like, it's just... God, just what a wonderful package. Don't
It's a slice of wonderment.
Yeah.
That
Tetris
one's
Effect,
not a box quote.
No. Good package. That's all I've got to say, really, on top of what you had. It's just what a good game, and what a good game to play with other people.
I wouldn't know about that front, but it's nice exploring that side of things with yourself and your good lady wife.
Yeah. And one thing I would say is missing from it, which I was kind of a little bit surprised to see. There's no multiplayer, there's no co-op, there's no two-player, there's no split screen, there's no online. Like, it's all just single player, which I kind of think is a bit of a...
Maybe they're saving that for a sequel or DLC or something.
Hopefully, yeah. Because I'd love to sit there playing this, side by side. Like, it plays so good.
It's been a staple of Lumines as well, which also returned to many consoles this year, and is one of my favourite games ever.
True.
Yeah,
it just kind of feels like it's just that one extra mode. I think it'd be perfect. I think that's all it's missing. But yeah, Tetris Effect, loved it.
That's your number 3.
My number 3, mate.
Right. So my number 3, starting off for your delectation, I present avant-garde shapeshifter Veronica Marjonica.
Ancient Greece. My dad is a talent who tried to kill me. My mom and my brother have gone. I am riding a unicorn like a boss. I'm stabbing Spartans. Sometimes in the face, sometimes in the bum. Then back of my unicorn, its hooves are glowing, and I am gone. I'm stabbing Spartans.
Thank you, Veronica Marjonica.
She's been away a while, hasn't she?
She's very talented, though. She can do what she wants. She's made her money. It's up to her. So
she's in the twilight of her career.
What? She's a star forever.
Yeah,
and
true.
She's got great skin. She's not really aging. So Assassin's Creed Odyssey, another go-to in my gaming world. Great one when I'm on a late start, and it's easy to fall into side quests, going after bounty hunters and all manner of fun stuff. In run up to Christmas, I'd still not really progressed the story super duper massively, but I had loads of fun adventuring, doing side quests and the like. You pointed out that Kotaku article. It's like, I haven't finished. I'm only halfway through the game, and I've reached the level cap. Like, hi over there.
Yeah,
We're
I know someone who
sharing a
did
park
that.
Of late, it's all I'm playing. The story has been excellent, with recent adventures on Mykonos being a real highlight. Not only the prettiest place that I've been in the game, but it forced me to do something that I really didn't want to do, with my reaction to that being fierce. I can see why they wanted me to do it, but the Athenians taking over an island and doing bad things, fighting alongside the Spartans, and the resistance to overthrow them. Well, okay, the Athenians did bad stuff, but don't think I didn't kill every Spartan on that island afterwards, and every Athenian. Kyra, my love, this is my gift to you.
You really? Did you? Did you
Again,
genocide an entire island
of soldiers? I freed it. Whereas
of human life.
Whereas you, dick player, are playing Red Dead Redemption 2 as a lovely, lovely boy. Me, you're both surprised and delighted and intrigued by this. I am playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey as opposed to being a good boy, as I normally am in games. I am playing it like a bit of a freelance dick.
The angel of death.
They're very much. So often it's arriving in an area, getting caught up with the people, the politics, seeing what evolved, doing these little side quests gives you greater clues into the grand design, and there's a whole side plot that builds up as well the more that you go on. As just mentioned, my Cassandra is an angel of death that looks like Wonder Woman and rides a unicorn. I am getting into a lot of trouble. I mentioned on a previous show that there's a version of the Nemesis system where your actions can lead to a bounty being placed on your head, with mercenaries crossing the Greek world to end you. Not only that, but you get to see on the map who's placed the bounty on your head and why. So you can play off that bounty yourself, which is what Casualty's doing at work. It's just paying off the bounties. Or you can murder the person who posted it as well, which is what I do.
That sounds a lot more fun.
It is, because oftentimes, like, you can see where they are, and when you get there might be one person in a fort. What if it's like, obviously I decided that I was going to fight for the Athenians in the great picture against the Spartans, because the Athenians wear blue like Manchester City, and the Spartans wear red. But what if the guy that posted the bounty is in an Athenian fort? I'm going in there sneakily, mostly, to try and get to that boy, unless somebody pisses me off. It could be anything. I could be running past that Athenian thought and I'd be like, Mystios, don't think coming in here, keep going. And I'll be like, right, you got any mates? And I can do various stuff. There was something quite funny the other day where I was on this mission for a doctor, and I was going into this sort of massive Spartan fort, so it's all right. They're asking for it, but I was going in there to rescue this other healer and sort of bring him out. And before he went in, this doctor just went, "Make sure there's no bloodshed. I can't handle any more bloodshed on my conscience." And so I get through this fort, murdering everything, and then walking through the door, see this healer, and just go, "Oh." And you know when you get that bit of dialogue where it's just like, we need to get out of here, but we can't be seen. I just settle in, love. Hold my beer. But yeah.
So this is you, stealthy, dressed like Wonder Woman riding a unicorn.
There is you've got a horse called Phobos, and there's one blacksmith that will sell you a unicorn skin for it, and basically like swirly colours come off the hooves when you sort of ride it. It's great. I was mentioning the bounty system. The bounty level can go up to level 5, and there was 1 point, 2 points last week where I was at level 5. And all manner of bastards were coming for me, often at the same time. And if I see them, I do go right for them. Often if they arrive in a town, this is something that I noticed last week. If they arrive in a town and you've not discovered a clue for them yet, you will see them. You won't see them on the map, but occasionally on like your radar, you see like a grayed out like image of a bounty hunter, and you're like, oh, right, okay. But the ones that have got bounties that are coming for you, as well as those you've discovered clues for, will show up in red. So, but if they arrive in a town and they haven't seen you, often they will just start smacking the fuck out of everybody until you turn up.
Oh.
So they might like come into a town and just like sort of sidle up on their horse and just sort of let the horse graze, or they might just run around the town looking for clues for you. There's certain places where they've been in, and it's almost like they're drawing you out by literally going up to people and just smacking the fuck out of everybody to try and draw you out, which is kind of cool. I mean, I was on my way anyway, but oftentimes it's just nice to watch them like beat people up.
What's happened to you?
I don't know. So there's also stuff. Sometimes the bounty hunters will turn up with animals, Which, it's like, oh, you've got a dog by your side, that's fine. I can set that on fire quite quickly. Oh, you've arrived with a lion. Can it climb onto rooftops? Oh, no, it can't. Come and fight me, coward. I'll burn your lion afterwards. So last Sunday I played until 3 a.m, an 8-hour session. This doesn't happen generally past my bedtime. It's normally way, way earlier. And given I had a day off on Monday, I give myself sort of several warnings. Those, once I've done this, I'll go to bed type stuff. But those are soon followed by like, I'll just do this. So I was on this small island, mercenary level up to 5. I'd already killed 2 of them, and there were 6 on the map that I discovered. I was trying to do story stuff, but wary about the mercenaries. Being particularly wary about doing story stuff, things cracking off and mercenaries turning up en masse. All of that happened. It was great. The climax of this particular story seemed to be which of the twins was which, wanting me to have paid attention to the conversation and choosing either option A, twin A, or option B, twin B. Instead, you'll be delighted to know I chose an improvised option C, which was smash them both with hammers. And Cass's one-liner at the end of this made me yawp out laughing. It's brilliant. In a quest further on than that, I had to deliver a package for absolute shagger Akibiades, who, you meet in the game, and he just likes to love men and love women, and you can have sex with him, and he's a very, very charming and handsome boy. So yeah, I had to deliver a package for him, and upon delivery, it was a plaster cast of his dick delivered to some lass's husband as a reminder of what she was missing. And it's stuff like this that leaves me grinning. It's not as if the character's a certain way in cutscenes and I'm going against type. It's like the character is mine to mould. I dress like Wonder Woman. I ride a unicorn with glowy, glittery hooves. I can jump off mountains, twirl and land on my feet. I am an angel of sneak, poison and death, and recently hammers. I can veer into being an absolute bastard if the mood takes me. It takes me a lot. Considering I had 2 sessions with Origins and didn't want to return, although I am now tempted to take another look into that in the aftermath of this, the fact that Odyssey has become such an obsession is a surprise and a genuine thrill. I had seen a video last week where they were doing a comparison between Origins and Odyssey, and one of the things that they said about Odyssey is that it's got a greater sense of humour than Origins, which takes itself sort of quite seriously, and I like that. It's the actual story itself is really emotional, really involving and stuff, but the character seems mine, and the fact that I've veered into these sort of dickish like playing abilities, and it's not taken away from that, I think is really neat. So yeah, just and as another footnote, we have friends that worked on the game, so all the above should be considered utterly corrupt and not to be trusted. Just a lie to get you to spend money on the game.
Sound the corruption horn.
Yeah, about £25 now, but I did spend £70 on it, so there you go.
Go on, son.
Yeah.
Big game. Sounds like you play that game the way I used to play Metal Gear 5, which is stealth. Ah, fucked it. Right, stealth!
No, I mean, you've seen some of the videos that I posted last week as well, which were
smacking a guy in his testicles with a hammer.
Yeah, it's punting a boy out into the sea, watching him half drown, get out, and then doing it again. Or doing the big charge-up shot on a load of witches, and then just watching them fall about.
You shot 3 with 1 arrow.
It was good.
It was good.
Yeah. So the irony was, after I recorded that, I was so excited to watch it that I lost the save. It's I really, really like it, and I'm having a tremendous amount of fun with it. Cassandra's great. Game is brilliant. I'm probably about halfway through now, but there's aside from the main story, there's a side plot as well of uncovering these cultists who are sort of trying to overtake the Greek world, and you get clues by helping people in side quests, and it would lead you towards a cultist, and it's really good. It's really good. Sometimes you can just stumble upon them anyway, but yeah, I like it a lot.
Cool. I'm yet to play, but I'm still very interested.
I think you
And I
will
will.
have a good time. But I'd super recommend you playing as Cass because she's great, and I think it would be a nice contrast against playing a fella in Red Dead. When you get there, I think it would distinguish itself a bit more. So yeah,
Brill.
Number 2 then.
Number 2 then. No lead up. I'm just going to press the button. Can't hunt this. Can't hunt this. You can't hunt this. You can't hunt this. My hammer hits you so hard, makes you say, oh my god, thank you for blessing me with a perfect aim and a smashing beat. It feels good when you're going down. A really buff hunter from the new town. Now swing, then punt, cause this is a beast, you can't hunt. I told you, engineer, you can't hunt this. Yeah, spit all your fire, but you know you can't hunt this. Look at my massive weapon, man, you can't hunt this. Now let me bust some monster skulls. You can't hunt this fresh new helmet and pants, looking so fly that I only wanna prance. So move out of my street, stay in my lane, and you're gonna get beat while I'm rolling. Spin bash, gonna knock you out, and your body's gonna crash like that. I like that. Finish off a mission, and now I'm heading back to the nose. My hammer's too much, and this is a beast you can't hunt.
Best one yet. I was dancing.
Hammer time.
Yeah, that was good.
Recorded that, right? You'll never believe me. One take.
Yeah, that was proper good. I'm super impressed.
Thank you. I want to finish that one. I really want to go back and finish that one.
No,
I feel like I have more to say.
Get what you mean. Obviously, for me, it's getting hold of those people again after they've done me a favour, but you get me.
I get you. Monster Hunter World, number 2.
Go for it.
Who would have known? So, again, like, I know we've spoken about this at length on, the huge monster teeth. Oh, you didn't do it.
Drama. Sorry, I was captivated by your conversation.
Oh, well, yeah, so on those shows, we talked about it a lot, and I've covered at length that, this game I didn't think, but we'll do it again. I didn't think Monster Hunter was for me. I tried it a few times in the past, and it just never quite gelled. It's always felt a little bit off. It's never felt, like, right in my hands. And I know you've had loads of fun with it. We talked, again, at length about that in the past, but this is another example of a demo came out, and I tried the demo, and I'm like, oh, no, this is good. Oh, no. Uh-oh. Right, to Amazon. So, yeah, like, I found my groove with it really quickly. I've tried a few weapons out and found the hammer to be quite to my playstyle, which is big thing, stand front, hit hard. The classic dynamic that we have. Big thing, stand front, hit hard. You over there. I found that I remember this game mostly for the co-op fun that I had.
We had a great time. You got used to this game super quickly, and you were having fun super quickly when you realised that you could be some sort of home-based dentist with your with your hammer in mouths. Yeah,
basically that. My time with like the game, it's kind of, while I've had good time on my own solo, kind of grinding out quests by myself and beating monsters by myself, and I generally play solo if I'm not playing with a friend. It's the co-op times that I remember the most, and that's what I've had the most fun with. So if it was the early game where it was me and you, learning the game, finding out, you were finding out what was different compared to the other ones. I was kind of picking it up fresh, and sort of you were giving me some knowledge here and there, and we were working things out between us. Those early kind of few hunts we did together were really fun. Like, again, we hit our dynamic really, really quickly again, which is I'll stand here and knock its teeth out, and you stand over there and shoot it with arrows from 3 miles away. And that worked. It worked so well.
Like, fun-wise, I still remember, and I think particularly on the early moments with the Anjanath, where it would wander off, and we'd run after it, and it would literally turn its head round. You'd be like, "Oh no, oh no!" And then it would either turn back or run, or and with me being a bow guy, I keep thinking of the Star Wars moment when I'd start charging up the bow to do like a massive like front sort of attack. And I keep thinking of the stay on target, stay on target. Just like not wanting it to move out of range and stuff. But yeah, that still makes me giggle. And also the ridiculous thing of Jerry Maguire saying Moss Sweeney.
Moss Sweeney.
I can't get that out of my head. It still sticks.
It's right. Whenever I see one, it does make me do a chuckle. I remember in our first initial playthroughs, even on the demo, we played a little bit of the trial together, didn't we? And then the main game, running up to, it was usually Anjanath, giving him a wallop. And we're like, yeah, this is fine. I'm going to give him just a big old wallop. And then he turned around like, I didn't mean it. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it.
Oh no, and there'd be those points where, I mean, the monsters themselves have got so much character, their animation's brilliant, but there is the point where they look like they're wandering off to somebody else, and then they go, hold on a minute, and you go like, no, I'm really sorry, no.
Please just let me drink my thing. I want to drink my thing. I'm sorry, it was him. I didn't do it. Please look at my cat. Look at my cat, please, look at my cat. So while I had fun with you in the start of the game, like I did do some other co-op with other people, and it was always different. So I know I cheated on you several times.
Well, I cheated on you by picking it up on the Xbox One and then making more progress than that than I had on my PS4.
I swear to God. So I played quite a bit with a couple of nights with Jay Taylor from Cane and Rinse.
Martin Charlton we played with as well.
We did play with Marchal. I remember with Jay Taylor, it was he was getting me through the Rathalos and Diablos hump that I couldn't get past.
I still keep bumping into his cat in the world, his Horizon Zero Dawn cat.
Yeah, because once you've met a person's cat, they're there forever. They're never
Sandy.
leaving. That's it.
Yeah,
that's it. Running out with Martin Charles 10, doing some smashing. I had a real good fun time with Pete. Peter Cleves, me and him wandering into high rank together. I
remember Peter having never seen the fart that had happened from the Puke Puke, and it was one of those things that had me laughing throughout the entire battle when I saw it, when it inflated its own arse and just went like.
You laughed for about 5 minutes straight.
It was glorious. It made the world right again.
Speaking of things that made us laugh for 5 minutes straight, Pete's first meeting with Basil Goose was one of my favourite things to watch happen. I've had it with him, and I had it, I think, with Jeremy as well now. Whereas kind of I'd had my moment with it, but it was quite fun watching someone else react. Like, oh, we're gonna go get a Kulu Yaku. Yeah, that'll be fine. Let's go kill a Kulu Yaku. It's our first high rank mission. This will be fine. And you go find the Kulu Yaku, and you start attacking it, and then you sort of you see a shadow in the sky. Like, what the fuck's that? And you see things start to appear, and then the amazing music comes in with the ba 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 ba, and then it's on. And then there's the largest thing you've ever seen dropping bombs at you from the sky, and it just becomes a game of, oh, who's this? Time to go! Run away now! Please leave!
One of Monster Hunter's best things, I think, is thinking that you're fighting one creature, and then something else turning up, and you're going like, oh no! And whether that be Beetlejuice turning up there, or even if you've got a mission like you're fighting the man and wife, and you're fighting the wife, and then the other Wrath turns up, and you're like, I didn't mean it. I'm really sorry.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's
and
lots
then,
of
what happened the other day? Basil turns up as well. Like, why? Why three? Why three of you flying bastards? Please, I didn't mean it.
Even when you're chasing after one creature and you like run past another, and you're like, excuse me, pardon me, not to see you here. Thanks very much, bye.
Don't turn around, and you see this. Yeah. You sort of hear the swing, and the mini map goes red. Like, oh no.
I hear that song in the back of my head, like, don't turn around. It's gonna feel I'm haunted by things like that.
Haunted. Also, my other favourite co-op moment of this game was hunting I believe it was a Paolumu or a Legiana with Jeremy. A moment that will go down in infamy as we were trying to hook onto the flying raptors.
Okay.
To get a bit of air and then drop on it to get those sweet drop attacks, like maybe a mount. So I hook onto mine, then I jump, and I miss, but it's going fine. Jeremy hooks onto his own bird, and it flies away with him, like... to the other side of the level. I'm like, right, where are you, Jeremy? Like, I don't know. Like, where have you gone? And he was just crying, laughing. The tweet, it resurfaces every now and again. It was from like February of like the early half of the year.
I remember when I got back into this, and I was talking to you about it, and you were like, and I said, "Oh, it's I've been playing this a lot, but it's fun to have gone back to re-immerse myself in it before Game of the Year." And you were like, "Oh yeah, it's a good point." And then you were like, but I've got quite a full hard drive, and I mean deleting something. And then I was at work and I saw all of these tweets one after the other in DM, and you were like, right, that's it, deleted Destiny 2, goodbye, I'm going to pop it back on again. And then one directly under that was, I'm back!
Yeah.
And you were and then we did a bit of co-op, and we had a great time. This is another one that we have to properly return to, because, again, we were just having super fun with it.
It was a good fun time, and it's still funny to play. Like, those monsters have got so much personality and so much charm, and it's just fun. Have you seen the anniversary thing?
I haven't been on it. I've seen the picture.
The giant Jagras. Oh Lord, he coming. Now, I don't usually approve of corporations doing meme stuff, but in this case, go on then. You can have this one.
I think they've done a really good job with all the free content this year.
Oh God, yeah.
You know, it looks like I mean, we've got February the 8th is the Witcher piece, and then we've got Iceborne in August. To say that people have criticised this game for a lack of content when they've given so much stuff free, I think is a little bit in poor taste, to be honest. And as I understand it, Iceborne is going to be colossal, and it's going to be DLC. They're not going to repackage it as a new game, which they've normally done. So
excited to smash a Frosty Boy. Whoa. So, yeah, that's my number 2. Very, very close to the top. Very, very close. It was a hard choice for this one for me. So, again, it was just, I had so much fun with it. I didn't think I could like Monster Hunter, and Monster Hunter World proved that I can, and it actually is for me. And just to kind of turn me around on a series that I was very sour on for a long time, deserves all the credit in the world.
Cool.
Well done, Capcom.
Right. There's not really a lot more that I can add to that, sir, except, ladies and gentlemen, Stadium Rock Titans, Gumbo Roneses.
Just a bunch of boys running through the jungle, making some noise, having some fun, y'all. Oh, both of you boys, where are your manners? See, Jesus is bow, and Patty's his hammer, running through the jungle.
Such a disgrace!
Standing on the weak and see,
Smashing monsters in the face!
running through the jungle.
Gumbo Roneses.
That was wonderful. Good
The weird
synergies.
thing is,
well done.
The weird thing is, it actually sounds like you are singing on that with me.
It does.
Yeah.
That's a good pad impression.
Thanks. So yeah, my number 2 is Monster Hunter World. So nothing more to add, because we had that dual conversation, and we both went with groovy tracks.
We're doing well on these. This has gone a lot better than I expected.
I know. I expected this to be blissful chaos, and if there's anything that signifies a game of the year for us, it's you having no clue what I'm doing and being deliciously lost. But I think there's an extra degree of chaos in this one, which has ramped things up from last year. But now you're at number 1. Let me just get a drink first. 1 minute.
Please do.
Just need to go and grab a sweet pop, because I am getting quite hoarse. Red Dead.
It's not Red Dead. That was already in there.
I was getting so hoarse you could see my bollocks freeze in the cold. Number 1 then, my bro.
Number 1. Number 1. I'll be interested to see if you've guessed it already. But here we go. No, don't even say it out loud. Don't even say it out loud. Just think. Write it down on a piece of paper. And here we go.
playing another tough game. It's bringing me endless shame. I just can't beat this one guy. I can shoot his brains away. My beefy arms will do you harm. I'll tear out your whole spine. I shouldn't have bought a bread knife to a gunfight. Unchain my wrath. Try the level again. Pick up the bits that are lost when my luck didn't cost me and ended my life. Reload my gun. It's retribution time. Unchain my wrath. My wrath.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
You are indeed the goddess and the princess of Twin Humanities.
Thanks. I'm very happy about that. Immortal! Unchained! Again, I was quiet earlier because I didn't want to blow my wad too early.
Understandable. I was
Yeah.
going to say.
And again, sound the corruption horn because we did get our codes for this from Toadman. Thank you, Toadman. So take everything we're about to say as corruption towns, but...
No. You found this game, and I hadn't heard of it. I asked Brad Galloway if he could put us in touch with the PR folks, and he was lovely enough to do that.
Do you remember where I found this game?
Was it on an advert on YouTube?
It was a YouTube ad of all places, and I never watched those. I'm like, fuck it, I'm not watching a YouTube ad. Come on. But I was watching. And Laura was there as well. We're like, it's weird. Like, you know, sometimes I just stayed my finger over the X button, skip through the advert. Like, no, do you know what? Just give this a second. Because the aesthetic was like, it hit you quite quick. Like, this looks like an old comic. Like, what's that?
But again, I think this ties into the thing where we're, next year we're going to be chasing the weird a little bit more, because this was something that we had no idea about, no expectations, and it has to be said, when the reviews started coming in, they were in stark contrast to the game that we were playing.
It's one of those where I think a lot of reviews rushed through it, and I think they judged it on, like, compared to the AAA stuff that was coming out, as opposed to judging it on its own merit.
But I don't understand.
Maybe it's a strange one. Again, I couldn't understand where some of these reviews are coming from, because they didn't, like you say, they didn't feel like the game that I was playing.
It felt a lot of the time that people were playing it sort of begrudgingly. And maybe we were more invested than the most, but I'd say that even things like Neo, which I enjoyed, you didn't click with. Both of us kind of fell away from or didn't really have much enthusiasm for Dark Souls 3. So you've got to take into account, from our point of view, like a little bit of Souls fatigue. So something that was coming in and doing something different, especially in the light of like loads of indie stuff, just doing Souls. And like to see, as emo singer Fanta Boy said, 2000 AD plus Demon Souls plus guns, and we both had different experiences with the choices and builds that we'd chosen. It's man, this is why we did so many shows from it.
Yeah, because we got a lot out of it, and what you were saying before, like, I think we've always bought honest opinions. We're not going to talk about something that's popular just because everyone's talking about it. If we don't like it, we're not going to talk about it. I'm not going to pretend to like something for the sake of controversial opinions on the Twitter. No, fuck all that noise. That's terrible. Bad content. Don't do that content, people. But yeah, I was not expecting to enjoy it as much as I did. Like, it looked like it was going to be fun, but it looked like a game where you can kind of bang through it, It looked like a rental, if you know what I mean. Rent it, bang it out in a couple of days, send it back. Do you know what I mean? I got through a lot of stuff on when Love Films do the game rentals that way. Stuff that, like the B games that you wouldn't normally go out of your way to kind of pick up brand new. It's like, well, am I going to get more than one run out of this? Is this worth 40 quid to me right now? And yeah, I was not expecting an awful lot. And I'm amazed at how quickly the game grabbed me. I say the aesthetic, while, it's kind of like very, very early 2000s comics as well. Like, not just 2000 AD, because that whole, pulpy, sci-fi, over-the-top sort of aesthetic is right there, but I'm talking things like your Image sort of stuff, where everyone's got glowing eyes and big muscles and pouches everywhere. Like, a bit...
Shoulder pads.
Yeah, a bit Rob Liefeld in places. Everything's got magical green energy around it, and everyone's just super buff and bald and edgy.
I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah, and tatted up. And part of the character creation is picking a buff boy or a buff girl and tatting them the fuck up, which is it looks and it works. It's that sort of comic aesthetic that I think helps gel everything together. I would say that it's probably not the smoothest game I played this year. I would not say it's the most polished game I played this year, not by a long shot, but it's probably the one that I resonated with personally the most.
Give me ambition and give me passion, and there've been a few pieces of alleged AAA this year which have just felt like the Emperor's New Clothes. They've felt like something stock and standard, maybe with a great story and a huge budget tacked on top. But that's something that just playing like punches you between the head and reminds you why you love gaming. It's super special.
Yeah, and that's why this one clicked for me. Like, this, not just the fact that it was a bit different. Like, it was the fact that nobody else was really playing it. Like, and we're not like, oh, we made this game, but we didn't make this game popular. No, it did it by itself because it was good. But when I was playing this game, and nobody was talking about it, and I couldn't find any help online. There was no guides, there's no wikis, there's nothing. This game feels like it's mine. Like what Bloodborne used to feel like, because we got that, very kindly Sony gave us that early, and for a while that Bloodborne felt like it was my game. The first half of Dark Souls 2 I played, before release, and it was my game. I made my decisions with it. I made the progress. I was the one working it all out from scratch. Like, it wasn't this kind of great sort of group play that you seem to get a lot of time where everyone's playing the game at the same time, and within a week the wikis are always full, and I think Dark Souls games in particular are usually quite bad for this, where within a week the wiki's 100% complete, all the lore's out there, there's full playthroughs, lore guides, all that stuff, and I will say my campaign position in 2018 was end lore. I'm done with lore 2018. And
then what happened?
Care. Immortal made me give a shit again about lore, but only in certain circumstances still. Had some really, really good back and forth with Dave, Sentinel Plus, on the Twitter. It's still weird to call him Dave, because you've always been Sentinel in my heart. But again, he gelled with it really quickly, and we were sort of throwing bits back and forward. I was going through my inventory, kind of like... I basically did a short video where I went down every item showing off the descriptions and sent him that video so he'd go through it and pick out the lore stuff and work out what was applicable, what was that, throwing ideas back and forward at each other at what we thought stuff was about.
But it was fun as well to for the folks who were picking it up from listening to the show, who were then super getting into it, often kicking on ahead of us at certain points because they got so addicted to it. And generally, the positive feedback that we got was far outweighed the really tiny amount of folks that understandably, it might not have been for them.
Because there's always that worry when you recommend something like that's not big and obvious to someone that they might not like it. And that was my real concern when people started picking it up because of us. Oh God, what if they don't like it? They'll have wasted their money. I was feeling not guilty, but worried, because.
But I feel the same way about I can talk to Casualty at work about my love of Japanese superhero stuff, and I know that if he saw it, he would judge it by the fact that the show has a really tiny budget and isn't superheroes with $500 million worth of Marvel, and I think that same edict applies in this regard.
Yeah, I'd agree. Yeah, it's what you were saying earlier about a team with ambition, with ideas, and some of them may not have realised as fully as you would have liked. Sometimes the gunplay isn't the smoothest in the world, but give me a world designed like this. Give me shortcuts and links and item descriptions that make me think, oh, hang on, I know about that. I've seen that, and it's not cryptic bullshit either. There's a clear line. It's not just working out riddles and rhymes and positing ideas and fact. You can put together some pretty solid stories pretty easily.
And how many times did the game like surprises, and also, I mean, I remember early on that the first person that I got back to the hub world, and like the dialogue, the voice acting was just fantastic. The story that was spoken was genuinely engaging.
And that goes places as well. You're not done with that, not by a long stretch.
No.
Again, the characters you meet, like, they could just be some random schmo, and then as you piece together who they are, where they've come from, what they're about, you think, hang on, that's someone quite important, actually. Like, you're definitely seeing this world at the end. You know, there's been a twilight, there's been a huge war, there's nobody left. All the important people, the named characters as they were, most of them are gone, most of them are dead. You don't meet that many people, and I would say in the last half of the game, or the last third even, when things start really kicking into overdrive and you sort of start really learning some stuff about where you are and what's happened, blew me away. Like, those last 2 levels in particular were so visually unique and distinctive and interesting. And, like, the ending. Oh my god, the ending. I was literally stood up in my front room, jaw on the floor, clapping. Like, well done, video game. Like, you got me. You got me so good. I think as well, just to circle back about the devs, you know, Toadman have been amazing. Like, bug fixes, they've been listening to people's, like, community, they've been adding balance updates, and, you know, people complain
That
the sniper
DLC,
rifles.
what an idea with curses.
Right, so yeah, I'm very excited. The Mask of Pain, free
Actually,
DLC.
We've not gotten to the actual DLC yet, have we?
No, this is free. This is a free update. This is it's not out yet, but the Mask of Pain is basically you can choose to play the game as a cursed man or woman, and then whenever you beat a boss, you choose from one of 2 curses to apply to yourself forever. Which will be
genius.
The example they had was, the first one was if you ever abort a reload, you'll take 30 damage. So if you're reloading, then you have to, like, dodge out the way, you'll take 30 hit points of damage. Or the other one was, if you're not moving, you will take 1 point of damage per second. And then every time you beat one of the big bosses, you have to pick another one. And they can if you play New Game Plus, you can then stack them on top.
Oh, man.
What a joke. Like,
That
I'm
is brilliant.
so happy. Like, that is a dumb idea that I'm so happy exists. Like, and that's not the real DLC. There's more coming as well. There's more paid DLC being developed. It's nice to see a developer give a shit about their game and try so hard to, like, not fix it, because that sounds quite negative, doesn't it? But, like, to balance it, to listen to the community, like, what do you want? What do you think will make this better? And then actually, you know, acting on some of the suggestions, like, you know, that's a pretty good idea, actually. You know, the snipers didn't feel like they were all that different, so they've done the big balance update and really, like, made sniper rifles particularly feel like their own class of weapon. Again, noted scoundrel Jeremy Greer has beaten one of the bosses, the ones you've not seen, in almost one shot with his sniper, with a fully charged up super snipe shot. And that is, frankly, ridiculous. As a man who has tried what I call the one chain run, trying to beat the game at level 1, because that is what I do these days, because I hate myself.
Yeah, but you're not good at video games at all.
I'm shite at them. Well, as I've proven.
Shut up.
Well, there's three big boy bosses. Like, you know, in the way, like, you got your Seath and your Nito, like that sort of boss. You got your 3 big boy bosses. I can get to them, but I can't beat them. Not even close. Not even close. And to hear him to say he beat one in almost one shot, I wanted to cry. I wanted to actually cry. I probably wasted a week of my life on one of those bosses. Like, I've given up. I'm not that good. I can't do it. Other people can. I can't.
It's worth saying as well. I mentioned it on the show that From are a big deal these days, and they're owned by Kadakawa, who are mighty cash rich. But From weren't always that way. And the way that I've often sold this to people is that Toadman at the moment are From Software in their Demon Souls moment. And I think that with this much passion and this much attention to detail, I can't wait to see where they go from here. And I will bang that drum all day. I think they're phenomenal.
Well, if they follow the same pattern, I can't wait for in 2029 to be utterly sick of them and to think Immortal 3 is one of the worst games I've ever played. If we're following the pattern here.
Keep going, Tobin. There's nothing to lose.
It's only up from here. So, yeah, that's about all I've got written down to say. But yeah, my game of the year, and good God, I did not expect to be saying this, my game of the year is Immortal Unchained.
Well played, you, and well played, Immortal Unchained.
Ta-da!
Right then. What's left?
Final doors.
But what could be left? Sometimes you look at things from afar and are fascinated, but you can continue to look from a distance. A number of factors can pile onto this, but sometimes it's about timing. Bloodborne back in the day took a few swipes which were not for me, and I knew there was something there that was absolutely for me. And when Bloodborne did hit properly and click massively, I absolutely adored it. And yet I had no previous swipes at this. I had no real idea of just what I was getting myself into, just vague swathes of what might be. But even that didn't mean that I approached it and knew what I was getting myself in for, and just where I found myself. As it unfolded, I thought I knew what I was immersed in, but the thing was a bit like a shapeshifter, constantly dancing around me and beaming in my direction with emotion, sheer admiration. I beamed back. Even as things came to a conclusion, I really didn't have any idea of how things would come together, and in the aftermath it left my jaw open, with spectacle, with ambition, in admiration, and yet it's something I've not brought up on the show. Not quite. And yet, it may just be about to make twin Humanities history. I give you Studio 54 icon, fashionista and resident of Stockport, Darcy McBelmont, with You Are Not Expecting This.
Somehow kept silent about all of this. I managed to keep my powder dry. You are not expecting this. You are not expecting this. We used to. Somehow I let this one be personal. I somehow kept silent about all of this. I managed to keep my powder dry. Way we used to. Somehow I let this one be personal. Glory to mankind. Glory to mankind. Glory to mankind.
My game of the year for 2018 is Nier Automata.
Yeah! Yeah! Yes! God, son! God! Well, oh, sorry. I need a second. Go on, son.
Sorry, I'm still a little bit emotional from Darcy McBelmont's song. Lots of drama in there. And it stole me away in story, in emotion, in questioning in ambition. It floored me. Absolutely floored me. Continues to floor me in the way that I think about it as I continue to go through the endings. I genuinely didn't know what I was getting myself in for, even though I thought I knew what I was getting myself in for. Special as fuck. Absolutely special as fuck. And yeah, it's funny, sort of, you know, the brief bit that we have spoke about it on the show was you mocking me when it became top of my wants in the E3 stuff. But yeah, just it's hard to put into words what a special game it is. I love the design of it. I love the way that it constantly redefines itself. The level of humor, the actual game to play is brilliant. Jesus Christ! I mean, I've mentioned loving playing on the Elite gamepad, but my word, the configurations of claw that I had for certain things were just phenomenal. And it stole me away. I think Yoko Taro is a genius, and the fact that he's had the backing from Square on this after the original Nier was a cult hit, but not particularly a financial one, and that this has been such a financial hit. And you know, him partnering up with Platinum has brought a little more polish to the game, and I think there's been a nice back and forth between the two of them. It feels very much a directed game. It's I get a little bit. If things hit me in the chest and they hit me in the head, and visually they steal me away, and it keeps laughing at itself, and can still be tragic, can be brilliant, can be emotional, can be inspirational. It's and also your reaction to the chorus of Darcy's song was brilliant when you realised what I was talking about.
Yeah, I had a few ideas, but I couldn't knock it down. And the Glory Mankind, I was like, oh my god, he didn't. Oh, I'm so happy. Okay, right. So how the fuck did you not talk about this? You've done it again. Where your Game of the Year comes out of nowhere. I'm like, what?
I've got... because, you know, I like to go into coffee shops on my day off and do, like, writing and stuff. And sometimes it's working on novels. Sometimes it's working on bits for the show. And I have a long document of stuff, probably going back to, like, last February, of stuff that I've not managed to talk about. And there's probably some healthy notes on this one. But when I was revisiting stuff, it really came back to me, probably even more so than being in the bubble, being in that moment at the time, to also be able to stand outside that bubble and just go like, holy fuck, yes, I really appreciate, I double appreciate that, because I'm looking at it for a second time. And
this is almost exactly the thing I had with it, because again, it was my Game of the Year last year, if I remember rightly.
Hence me saying we're about to make Twin Humanities history.
Yeah. It came out fairly early in the year as well, from what I remember.
I think it was January and on PS4.
And then sort of coming back to it at the end of the year deliberations, it's like it's the only choice. Of course it is. Like it kind of fills that criteria again for us, where it's like very sort of unique, and it sounds like it's hit you quite personally. It hit me quite personally as well. And it's not what you think when you think, you know. It's not the first thing I would think of when I think biggest games of the year, because it's so out there, and so obviously a product of Yoko Taro's just demented, wonderful brain. Like, you wouldn't have thought you'd see a game like that anywhere near the top of anyone's lists, and Like, you think about it, I'm thinking about it now, and I'm glad I mentioned it earlier when I talked about games that I don't want to play again, because now it's like it's all just come full circle again.
Well, I remember Jim Sterling said last year that when he did 2 videos on Nier Automata, after it was released, and he was saying, like, if this isn't coming the top of Game of the Year lists, if this isn't appearing in Game of the Year lists at the end of this year, because obviously it was like January, he was like, something is seriously fucking wrong, that people cannot forget this game because it launches in January. And yeah, it became super personal to play it. It stayed with me, but when I came back to it and when I refamiliarized myself with it, it seemed like an interesting choice. And also, there was that sort of sparkle and kernel that I hadn't spoken about it on the show, and an excitement when I realised where in the list it was going to come.
Jeez, I'm still reeling. Honestly, I'm still reeling a bit. I'm still amazed you've managed to not talk about it, because I don't think I'd have had that control.
Well, it's not the sort of thing that I can... Like, even if we met up on The Division or Destiny 2 and stuff like that, it's not something I can talk about passively when we're doing other stuff. And I think part of my brain was still trying to process it in many regards. But yeah, I know I put down some notes for a show that didn't happen. And sometimes it's about gluing similar things together for a show as well. It didn't quite come off, but that looks sort of pretty fated at this point. And I will remember your reaction to the chorus of that song for always when it clicked. I think it was like 2 lines in where you went, hold on, did he say...
Yeah, it took a sec, like, glory to... no! Jeez. And you've cheated.
No.
Game from another year?
No. It launched at the end of June.
Oh, it didn't? Oh!
Yeah, it did.
Oh, on the green machine of lies.
Oh my god, think back to yourself and at E3 when you were just... What was it you kept saying? There was something you kept mocking me with, a line.
I can't remember.
Where, I don't know, but it was basically an Xbox mock.
Xbox.
But, yeah. But all that's come back around now. And as far as I'm aware as well, it's sold pretty well on Xbox One, which all comes back around to more money and the chance of sort of further games for Yoko Taro, which is great.
And anything... I saw an interview with him the other day. You know that 2B's turned up in Soul Calibur?
Yeah.
Someone's asked him, like, would you allow it to be licensed out to anything else? And his response was like, yeah, I don't care. Give me some money. It's fine. Whatever. As long as you pay me, do what you want. It's fine.
There was something recently where he's like, I am a very rich man. I can eat noodles every day. Something like that. It was, I don't know. But yeah, the game super, super blew me away and continues to. And there's a Yoko Taro book coming out in March as well. Which is really good. Which is about his career, which I'm
the third editions one.
Yeah, and I keep hoping if Xbox can do anything with backwards compatibility, I'd love to see the original Nier turn up, and especially if it does that kind of Xbox One X thing with where it boosts the resolution. Because I genuinely the bit that I have played of the original Nier, I genuinely love the art, the design that's in there, and whilst it wasn't on the greatest of budgets, it would be nice to see that get one of those 9 times resolution boosts and just sort of see exactly what's there. It'd be a good one to just turn up on. And also, if it did turn up on backwards compatibility, obviously people can get the second-hand copies or the copies that they've got on the shelf, but also oftentimes they turn up on digital storefronts for the first time as well, which would mean that more money was going to go back to Square and Yoko Taro for the next game, which is fab.
Whatever they do with this now, because good God.
You sound deliciously shocked.
I'm shocked and happy.
How so?
You've punched the words out of my face.
I punched the words right out of your face. See, I did a cover.
That was good. There we go. Wrapped up with a nice bow. I'm legit happy that that's your choice for Game of the Year. So happy, because I just fell in love with it when I played it, and I'm glad you have too. Would you play it again when you finished, or would you do what I've done and leave it as that one time?
It's going to be a hard choice. I still got the original to go through. I've only been a little way through the original, and part of that is waiting and hoping that it would turn up on backwards compatibility, and it's not out of the out of the realms of imagination, I guess, because recently Final Fantasy 13's kicked in on backwards compat. So I'm hoping
precedent.
That, yeah, but what a game! Jesus, everything about it.
Top one. Top one.
So yeah, thank you everybody for listening. It's been a top time. I really super enjoyed this. We've had the first part of the Game of the Year recorded for about a week or so, and we had to have a bit of a run up to the second part, but I think it's been worth it for the results.
Yeah, I'm very happy with how all the songs have turned out. Your songs were wonderful, sir. I enjoyed them greatly. Sorry, your cover artist that you got into singing the songs for you.
Cover artist. All original songs. Thank you to Frabonk, Seabratoast, Gimba Dawn, Ron Wooverly, Fanta Boy, Veronica Majonica, Gumbo Romeses, and Darcy McBelmont. Especially to Darcy for the reaction that you had for the chorus. You're a genius.
Oh, thanks, Darcy. Good to see her back on the stage again.
What? She's never been away. You've just not been looking properly. Right then, my friend. It's been lovely to catch up and chat stuff.
It has.
It'd be fun to see the reactions for this one. And see you soon.
Bye, everybody.
Sure, bye.